buttons up the front. If you were wearing a three-piece suit, you'd have the jacket and the vest inside. You'd be wearing a vest. I don't think there would be too many people wearing vests in Bangkok, usually in cold weather. Rest.
Relax.
Yeah, relax.
Break.
Yes.
Take it easy.
Take it easy. Take a break. Take a nap.
A rest stop would be a place where you could stop and rest on the highway, a rest stop, or the rest of the group. Where is the rest of the group? Oh, they're at the other side of the temple. The remaining portion. You can rest, or the rest of the group, the remaining people, let's say, here are several tourists, but where is the rest of the tour group? Oh, they're over at the temple. Oh, okay. They'll be here in a few minutes. The rest of the group will be here in a few minutes. The remaining number of the tour group that are not here now will be here in a few minutes. The rest of the group will be here in a few minutes. So you have a couple different ways to use it, or you can just take a rest, take a break. Take a break, take a coffee break. Take a break. You hear that all the time. Take a rest. Take it easy. Relax. Take a deep breath. Count to 10. Everything will be fine. A test. Exam.
Yes.
I'm sure that if you were in school and somebody said we were going to have a test for tomorrow morning, I think everyone would understand that something's going to happen, more like an examination or a test of your knowledge as to certain subjects. You will be examined as to your knowledge about history or medicine or geography or whatever the course happens to be. There will be a test tomorrow. Whoa. So what does that mean? You have to study tonight. You have to be up and study for the test in the morning. The examination. In other words, they're going to examine your knowledge of a certain topic. There will be an examination tomorrow. There will be a written test. A written test. Or there could be an oral test. What is that? Yeah, oral examinations. You can go have an oral examination at the dentist, but then also you can have an examination, a test, where the teacher asks the question and you respond. Sometimes it can be scary. Because I remember when I was in college and on the senior graduation, the Jesuit priests would sit, two of them would sit at a table. The two priests right here. And it was scary. You were over here. You had to, and it was your turn. Next. Not me. Not me. And stand there by yourself with the two priests asking the questions on philosophy. Whoa. And then if everything went well in the 25 minutes of questions. When the series of questions ended, the priest would look down for a few seconds at the different pieces of paper on the desk, and then look up. And if they said, "See you at graduation," that meant everything was okay. Then back down the hill. "See you at graduation." That meant everything is okay. Woo. Even talking about it gets me a little bit jumpy. Anyway, yeah, okay, text. An oral examination as opposed to a written or a true-false test. True, false.
True or false.
In other words, the question is either true or false, and you would mark true or false, true or false, true or false, true or false, all through the test. So you have written exams, true or false test, oral exam, that type of thing, examination, or a test. Any questions about, oh, and zest, I forgot zest. Whoa, yeah, right. A certain zest for life, a certain enjoyment, a certain desire for a wonderful time. I have a zest for a happy life, a desire for enjoyment. He's a very happy person. He has a great zest for life. He's very excited about all the opportunities that can come forward to somebody. He's just graduated from college, and he has a great zest for life, a desire to go out and do as many things as possible. A zest for a certain thing. But the key thing is to remember that it's S, 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 and S. RTVWZ. And that's why you don't want to say he's wearing a vest. No, he's wearing a vest. He went west wearing a vest. He went west wearing a vest. That's why the pronunciation is quite important, to make sure that you're understood. He went west wearing a vest. Really? Yeah. He went west wearing a vest. Again, these are words that all have a similar sound, but the meaning is entirely different, not even close. A test.
A test.
A test.
A test.
Blessed.
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 What I'm hearing is B-R-E-S-D. Blessed.
Blessed.
You gotta fight that R-L-V, R-L-V, don't forget that. Blessed.
Blessed.
Dressed.
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 Guest.
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 Mess.
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 It's a word you don't hear too often. Mess. Because, you know, it's mess. If someone came in and said, "Why, I'm shocked. I'm shocked, amazed, and at a loss to understand what happened. This room is a mess. Check out, checklist, checkpoint. I was at the airport security checkpoint yesterday. They inspected my baggage. And I was cleared to pass. Any questions? Check. CHEQUE. Okay. Now here's a sentence or two where we use some of the words that we just discussed a moment ago. My friend is the manager of an import-export business. His company recently received a shipment of electronic items imported from China. He took delivery of the shipment at the company's warehouse, where he conducted an inventory of all his stock. My friend is the manager of an import-export business. His company recently received a shipment of electronic items imported from China. He took delivery of the shipment at the company's warehouse, where he conducted an inventory of all his stock. Go ahead.
My friend is the manager of an import-export business. His company recently received a shipment of electronic items imported from China. He took delivery of the shipment at the company warehouse, where he conducted an inventory of all his stock.
All his stock, right,
all
very
his
good.
stock.
Right, electronic items imported from China. He took delivery of the shipment at the company's warehouse, where he conducted an inventory of all his stock. Go ahead.
My friend is the manager of an import-export business. His company recently received a shipment of electronic items imported for China. He took delivery of the shipment at company warehouse when he conducted an inventory of all his stock.
Right. He took delivery of the shipment at the company's warehouse, where he conducted an inventory of all his stock.
My friend is the manager of an import-export business. His company recently received a shipment of electronic items imported from China. He took delivery of the shipment at the company's warehouse. Where he conducted an inventory of all his stock.
Right, very good. My friend is the manager of an import-export business. Go ahead.
My friend is the manager of an import-export business. This company recently received a shipment of electronic items imported from China. He took delivery of the shipment at the company's warehouse, where he conducted an inventory of all his stock.
Inventory of all his stock. He took delivery of the shipment at the company's warehouse, where he conducted an inventory of all his stock. Go ahead.
My friend is manager of an import-export business. His company received a shipment of electric items imported from China. He took delivery of the shipment at the company's warehouse, where he conducted an inventory of all his stock.
He conducted an inventory of all his stock. His company recently received a shipment of electronic items imported from China. Go ahead.
My friend is the manager of an import-export business. His company recently received a shipment of electronic items imported from China. He took delivery of the shipment at the company's warehouse, where he conducted an inventory of all his stock.
Right, very good. He conducted an inventory of all his stock. Go ahead.
My friend is a manager of the men's import business. His company recently received a shipment of electronic items imported from China. He took delivery of the shipment at the company's warehouse, where he conducted an inventory of all his stock.
Right, he took delivery of the shipment at the company's warehouse, where he conducted an inventory of all his stock. Very good. Go ahead.
My friend is the manager of an import-export business. His company recently received a shipment of electronic items imported from China. He took delivery of the shipment at the company's warehouse where he conducted an inventory of all his stocks.
Right, he conducted an inventory of all his stock. Inventory comes like inventory, not so much inventory, but inventory of all his stock. Go ahead.
My friend is the manager of an import-export business. His company recently received a shipment of electronic items imported from China. He took delivery of the shipment at the company warehouse, where he connected an inventory of all his stock.
Right, very good. At the company's warehouse, where he conducted an inventory of all his stock.
My friend is the manager of an import-export business. His company recently received a shipment of electronic items imported from China. He took delivery of the shipment at the company's warehouse, where he conducted an inventory of all his stock.
Right, very good. Conducted an inventory of all his stock. Very good. Go ahead.
My friend is the manager of an import-export business. His company recently received a shipment of electronic items imported from China. He took delivery of the shipment at the company's warehouse, where he conducted an inventory of all his stock.
Right, very good. Conducted an inventory of all his stock. Electronic items imported from China. Go ahead.
My friend is the manager of an import-export business. His company recently shipment of electronic imported from China is
He took delivery
shipment as the company warehouse where he conducted an inventory of all his
stock. Right. He took delivery of the shipment at the company's warehouse, where he conducted an inventory of all his stock. Go ahead.
My friend is the manager of an import-export business. His company recently received a shipment of electronic items imported from China. He took delivery of shipment at the company warehouse, where he conducted an inventory of all his stock.
Right. He took delivery of the shipment at the company's warehouse. Whose warehouse? The company's warehouse, where he conducted an inventory of all his stock. Go ahead.
My friend is the manager of an import-export business. His company recently received a shipment of electronic items imported from China. He took delivery of the shipment at the company's warehouse, where he conducted an inventory of all his stock.
Right, very good. He took delivery of the shipment company's warehouse where he conducted an inventory of all his stock. Go ahead.
My friend is the manager of an import-export business. His company recently received a shipment of electronic items imported from China. He took delivery of the shipment at the company warehouse where he conducted an inventory of all his stock.
Right. My friend is the manager of an import-export business. His company recently received a shipment of electronic items imported from China. He took delivery of the shipment at the company's warehouse, where he conducted an inventory of all his stock. Go ahead.
My friend is the manager of an import-export business. His company recently received a shipment of
Electronic
items imports from China. He took delivery of the shipment at the company warehouse where he conducts an inventory of his stock.
Right. Where he conducted an inventory of all his stock. Go ahead.
My friend is manager of an import-export business. His company recently received a shipment of electronic items imported from China. He took delivery of the shipment at the company warehouse where he conducted an inventory of all his stock.
Right. Took delivery of the shipment at the company's warehouse where he conducted an inventory of all his stock.
My friend is the manager of an import-export business. His company recently received a shipment of electronic items imported from China. He took delivery of the shipment at the company warehouse, where he conducted an inventory of all his stock.
Right, very good. Where he conducted an inventory of all his stock. Go ahead.
My friend is the manager of an import-export business. His company recently received a shipment of electronic items imported from China. He took the delivery of the shipment at the company's warehouse, where he conducted an inventory of all his stock.
Right. Where he conducted an inventory. Inventory. Try to put sometimes the emphasis is at the end of the word as opposed to the beginning. Inventory. No. Inventory. Just a little thing, but it changes the pronunciation. Not the meaning so much, but the pronunciation. Inventory? No. Inventory? Yes. Go ahead.
My friend is the manager of an import-export business. His company recently received a shipment of electronic items imported from China. He took delivery of the shipment at the company's warehouse, where he conducted an inventory of all his stock.
Yeah, you tried, right? It's very good too. Very, very good. Inventory. 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 You got me saying it now. Inventory. He conducted an inventory of all his stock. Go ahead.
My friend is the manager of an import-export business. His company recently received a shipment of electronic items imported from China. He took delivery of the shipment at the company's warehouse, where he conducted an inventory of all his stock.
Where he conducted an inventory of all his stock. Okay, go ahead. Very good.
My friend is the manager of an import-export business. His company recently received a shipment of electronic items imported from China. He took delivery of the shipment at the company's warehouse when he conducted an inventory of all his stock.
Right. He conducted an inventory of all his stock. Very good. Go ahead.
My friend is the manager of an import-export business. His company recently received a shipment of electronic items imported from China. He took delivery of the shipment at the company's warehouse, where he conducted an inventory of all his stock.
Okay, very good. At the company's warehouse, where he conducted an inventory of all his stock. It's kind of like inventory, as opposed to inventory. This particular way, the word runs up in the sense of inventory rather than inventory. So it's just a matter of practice to get the proper inflection, so to speak, or the emphasis on what part of the word, inventory, as opposed to inventory. My friend, my associate, my colleague, my good pal for many, many years, he is the manager. He operates a business. He's in charge of the warehouse, and he operates a business in importing and exporting various goods. They send them out and they bring them in from sometimes China, sometimes America, sometimes Australia, and they also export to Japan, the United States, and Australia. They bring them in and they ship them out. And he has that kind of business, a company that he runs. His company, his business, recently, just a few days ago, took in a shipment, a large shipment, a collection of items. And what type of items were they? What type of things did he have shipped in? They were electronic items, maybe TVs, radios, computers, whatever. He had a shipment. There were many, many of them in the shipment, in the containers. There were, let's say there were 8 containers of all these electronic items in the shipment that was imported, brought in from China. He took delivery, they were sent to him, and he received them. He took the delivery of the shipment at the company's warehouse. The warehouse would be a large building where all the company's items are stored and placed. A warehouse where the company's wares or goods are stored. A warehouse. Where, at the warehouse, he led an inventory, accounting of all of the items in the warehouse, his entire stock of TVs, radios, computers, you name it, DVD players, whatever. He took an inventory. He conducted. To conduct is to lead. He conducted the orchestra. He's the conductor. He leads the group. In this case, he conducted an inventory. They got counting of everything in the warehouse now that the electronic items have arrived and have been delivered from China. He's here, they're here, and I'm going to conduct an inventory of all the items, of all my stock, and find out just how many TVs, how many computers, how many radios, and how many DVD players I have. Inventory of all his stock. Any questions about those words? Pronunciation?
Difference between stock or warehouse is the same meaning or not?
Well, the warehouse, first of all, is a building. It is a building. It is usually a very large building, depending on the size of the company, of course, but it could be a very large building. And what would you find in the company warehouse is all the items that the company possesses. The TVs, the radios, the computers, the DVD players, whatever. All the items are what would be considered his stock, and the stock is then placed in the warehouse so that you could go through and there would be the TV, the radios, there's the DVD player, everything is in place in the warehouse. He would then take an inventory of all the items, all the stock, counting up what he had. And if he sold 100 computers, and all of a sudden he only had 100 computers, he sold 100 computers, he would be out of stock of computers. Out of stock. We will have them in stock next week when a new shipment arrives from China. Oh, good, I'll come back next week then and get a computer. Warehouse is a building, the stock are the items that are in the building. And if you don't have it at the business, then you are out of stock. Sorry, out of stock. Next week, we will be in stock. Again, we will have computers. Any other questions? Pronunciation, inventory?
Teacher,
inventory.
Management and administration to the word, the same or not, teacher?
What's that?
Meaning?
What the words?
Yes, management and administration to the word. It's a meaning same or not, teacher?
Management and
administration.
Administration, right?
Yes.
Are they the same? Yeah, pretty close. Yeah, you could probably, if you sat around for an hour and a half with 3 or 4 dictionaries, you could probably come up with a little bit of a difference. But in this case, we're talking about a warehouse, a company, the management, the operators of the business, the people that operate it, control it, and direct it is the management. They tell the workers what we're going to do, what we will do, and what we have done. They will manage it. The administration, yeah, pretty much the same. You could say that sometimes administration would be for the administration of the university, the people in charge.
Administration for education.
Well, there's, as they say, there's horses for courses. An administration you would refer to as maybe the university leadership. The business managers, management. You could say the management of the university?
No.
You know, that doesn't always sound so good, but the administrators of the administration, the university administration has said there will be no this or that. You know, that's more of an administration. You would use that word in connection with universities. But with a company or a business, it's usually referred to as the management. The management of the school. You could say that, but most of the time it refers to business work. Whereas other organizations, the administration of the temple, let's say, it Would the temple administrator be the temple manager? Yeah, many times, yeah. So it's close, you know, no big difference. It's not like one means A and the other means B. No, they're fairly close in what they prefer. It's just it's used in, it's a matter of practice and experience. It's administration of the temple, administration of the university, government administration. Yeah, they're managers too, but sometimes administration is the word you'll hear, and other times it's management. And, you know, most of the time in business, like in factories and this type of work, it's management.